Hello everybody, Tyranno here, and today we're looking at the M53/59 Praga, which is a Czechoslovakian vehicle coming to War Thunder in the Sky Guardians update. Now, I made a video back in 2015 asking for Czechoslovakian vehicles, and this was one of the vehicles I wanted to see, because it is a very effective SPAA. Now, it's going to be coming to the Soviet territory, which historically sort of makes sense because, of course, Czechoslovakia at that time was part of the Warsaw Pact nation. It was a communist nation, not necessarily by choice, 1968. But there we go, it kind of makes most sense to be here. Now, first thing we're going to look at is the armour. We will get to the gun, I promise, but I want to look at the armour first. Armour is not particularly great. We're looking about 10 to 6 millimeters max. And even with sloping, that's barely good enough to protect against machine gun fire, and even 50 cals go straight through that. So, it's not like you expect. It's a truck. It's not going to be particularly well armoured. Has a 156 horsepower engine, 4 gears forward, 1 gear back, 41 miles per hour max speed forward, and 6.5 max speed backwards. And it comes with a crew of 5, driver and commander at the front of the enclosed cabin, 2 loaders at the rear of the enclosed cabin, and the gunner on his Larry at the back here. And he is manning the anti-aircraft gun, which is the 30mm ZK453, which consists of 2 30mm cannons. Got 200 rounds in each. It fires about 400 rounds a minute, so I'm not sure if that includes both guns or single guns, because that would mean having to reload 30 seconds versus every minute. But reload rate isn't particularly long, 7.8 seconds, which is pretty good. Of course, the main problem is the ammunition, because default is fragmentation, incendiary tracer shell, and HFAP. And of course, you've got the fragmentation incendiary on its own, 63 grams of TNT equivalent, 1000 meters a second velocity, pretty good. The HFAP is very good and does show the problems with trying to balance these vehicles, because it can penetrate about 74mm at 500 meters, which means you can penetrate the sides of M4A3 Shermans and earlier Shermans, side of the Tiger II, Panthers, the Centurions, and this is the whole anti-turrets as well on a lot of these vehicles. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem when your anti-aircraft weapon can just easily destroy heavy tanks with relative ease. And even at close range, you can do decent damage to some of those vehicles. Unfortunately, I can't test drive this because I just haven't been down the Soviet anti-air lineup. I've got quite far on the other ones, but I've just never got down the anti-air line, unfortunately. But like I say, I did make a video on this many years ago, so I have been looking forward to this for a very long time. I am glad it is coming to War Thunder, and I think it will be an excellent self-propelled anti-aircraft vehicle. Anyway, this is just a quick video about the Praga, and hopefully you'll join me for future episodes of this nature. I've been Tyranno, and I'll see you next time.